Okay. Hi. So, yesterday, I had to make it a little smaller. I mean, a little, tighter around here because we didn't have a whole lot of space, but we had enough. So this is the junior high. I think at the point in the story that I'm at, and the grass is, to run a mile. You run around it 4 times, and it was a mile. Of course, because this is based on Grange Middle School. Um, I don't know if that would be secondary school uh, or if that would still be like elementary school for everyone in the that has secondary school. I am not sure, so I'm sorry about that. But oh, we need to add a roof here. This is a computer classroom, so that would have been the room that um this would have been a room that Natalie would have been in that yeah, this would have been a room that Natalie would have been in and brushing up her hacking skills while everybody else is building that spaceship, but that was in the high school. So when I was in school, we briefly had a computer class where they were showing us how to program stuff. And I was so afraid of breaking it because my dad was like, don't touch the computer unless I tell you to. And the buttons that I tell you to press. He was so afraid that I was gonna mess it up. So, because I was like 4 to 7 years old. Yeah. Um, I thought it was so cool um, because he had this program where the computer would talk to me. He set it up first, and then oh, there's a see that ruins the immersion having the not that it ruins the immersion having the carpet there. So uh, we do that anyway. This is the library. It's not open yet, obviously, but it's the library, and it's supposed to be 2 stories. This is that's what's different about the library. Okay, yeah. Anyway, this is a community center, and the only part of the community center that is actually important to any of my stories at the moment, anyway, is this room right here. Oh, good. Okay. So they're having a wine taste again. There. Okay. So they're having a wine tasting, and there's like tables in a U shape here, and there's the bartender, and he was trying to give a drink to Ashley. Well, the only problem with that is that um Okay. So the only problem with that is that she's pregnant with 6 babies. She wasn't gonna have any of those kind of drinks. She's got like Kool-Aid in a bottle. We don't call it Kool-Aid because I don't have Kool-Aid's permission to use their name. Oh, and these open up as really big doors. There's a door here and right there, and then there's another door here and it ends right there. So yeah. Anyway, during the wine tasting, they are totally open. There's somebody playing music, but I don't know who. And Danny McAndrews has come back to town and is recording the whole thing on his camcorder. It was just let's record it because this is something that we went to thing. But then it ended up being really good evidence that Sean didn't do what they said he did. This is the elementary school, and I added that because I didn't want the kids to get wet. This is did I miss something? No, I got the classroom. Okay. So the only thing I'm missing is a slide over here and a bark box over here. And on the ground here would be a kickball. Um, it looks like a baseball diamond, but it's kickball. And one time only, because I usually did the bunt thing. Baseball players will know what I'm talking about. This is a preschool. The preschool was there the other day, but anyway, this is a preschool. They've got a little bit of asphalt to, ride those little tricycles around, and then they've also got some grass to, so they can touch grass. That's a swimsuit shop. Oh, see, this is a preschool. It's a Little Leprechauns preschool, specifically. And this is very important because Sean's house is going to be somewhere here. Not entirely sure where, but somewhere around here. And he's going to walk over and he's going to get his children. And it turns out that the preschool, I'm thinking they didn't mean to, but they were giving the children grapes that were not okay to eat at that point in time. Yeah. So this is the post office. And this whole part right here is based on the Carson City post office. Theirs is cockeyed like this. But I had to go and make it like this because, it's Minecraft. But yeah, I think it turned out really good. And then this is the bank. I went and took the new sulfur pieces. I don't know if they're actually new, but to me they are. So anyway, I took the new sulfur pieces and made that money symbol, which still doesn't quite look like a money symbol to me, but like it starts out looking like a money symbol, and then all of a sudden I keep staring at it, and it's like, no, it doesn't work. Something like that. So, This is the inside of the bank. This is the ATM area. I really like the idea of it being covered for two reasons. One, it's going to be hard for you to get mugged in here. Because there's going to be a security camera. Ooh, yeah, I've got security cameras. They're just for looks, but I don't think they do anything is what I'm saying. I don't know, but I don't think they do anything. Anyway, I could put security cameras up here. Have one right. Well, I probably have one right there and there. Ooh, ideas. That's part of my add-on. And then I don't know if you've been watching every single one of my videos, but I finally got this done. My son helped me. So my son helped me get this done, and he didn't quite understand some of the things, but we got it done. This is a swimming pool. I hope that's obvious. Occasionally it has squids in it, and I really don't like that, but we took the new, what is this? I don't remember. Cinnabar. I like that name. I mean, that word. Cinnabar. Cinnabar. Anyway. This is a Cinnabar brick wall. Brick wall. I just thought it sounded, I just thought it looked really nice. And it was a great contrast, a great, difference, so it's not white. And we extended the bar. I don't know what the numbers are, but we made that a little smaller, made that a little smaller, made that a little smaller, and made that a little bigger. So it actually looks like it belongs here. They have way too big of a building this ways, but we'll figure it out. They all need back rooms anyway, Not the back rooms, but they need back rooms. And then we have the movie theater. So this is the movie theater, soda fountain, or the burger joint. I think that's the soda fountain. And then this one's the burger joint. And then that's the store that we don't talk about on Minecraft streams. But we can talk about it on GTA streams. And then that's the bar. The bar is important because some of the characters, they go there to drink their problems away, but they just end up maybe getting taken to jail or picked up or they just thought it was a fun drinking contest thing, and Michael was so miserable because he just had a fight with his wife that he, pretty much dragged everybody's mood down, and he ends up because I like the song Bubba Shot the Jukebox. I had him shoot the stereo because it played Daisy's song. And then one of the lines in the song is that he's arguing that it wasn't reckless discharge of a gun because he hit exactly what he was aiming at. So Michael doesn't usually get like that, and he never lies. Like if his wife's wearing the ugliest brown outfit ever and looks like a Tootsie Roll, he will go and tell her she looks beautiful, but this outfit over here might be better for her. Um, that way he doesn't, he's because he thinks she looks beautiful and everything. So he's not lying when he says that. Okay. Yeah, so originally I thought there was going to be more houses, or my son thought there was going to be more houses. Somebody did. I can't remember why there's more over here. But anyway, I'm having to take this out and put the um oops. Well, that's going to be taken out anyway because that's not the color of that building. You are not going to believe the color of that building. If I keep it the same color it is right now. Uh, that is well is right now, but on the other file. If I keep it the same color, it is then. I don't know. I was looking at it yesterday, going, I don't quite like that, and I was kind of thinking of making it a wood building. Like maybe the banana split ice cream shop has been here for years, but all my other buildings are made out of concrete. So, Miss snores a lot. Sorry, my cat's over there. She snores. I'm now wondering who snores louder, her or me, because my husband says I'm pretty loud. Um, Mine's a family trait, though. I don't know. I I've never had a cat that, well, Coral snore, never mind. Um, but like Coral, you could go, Coral, you're snoring, and she'd stop for, maybe a minute and then she'd start back up again. I never thought to ask the doctor, uh, are they supposed to snore? You know, I've never, uh, I've never asked the doctor, are cats supposed to snore? I kind of tend to think that, it's a living being and, living beings snore. So, yeah, it doesn't bug me. It's just that she does it so loud. And no, I'm not picking on you just in case you can hear me in your sleep. Um, I know Sam can hear me in his sleep because he'll be dreaming that he's chasing his brother or his sister or whoever. He's chasing somebody. He's chasing somebody because his little feet are moving and everything. And then, then I'll go, "Are you chasing your brother?" And then he'll stop. He'll just stop. Or like, more than a few times, he's been dreaming that, somebody was chasing him. And I go, "It's okay, baby. It's okay." And, he'll calm down. So I know he can hear me in his sleep. Sam, if I didn't say it. And, Ben is at that stage where, I have to stop and make sure that, well, I don't have to. But, I feel like I need to um, check on him. When I can't tell if he's breathing or something. So this looks like, unless the fancy restaurant takes up a whole entire block, and I don't see why it would. Um, it looks like we could have a small problem where no, because that was specifically picked out for that. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it green. Lime green. Um, totally forgot what I was saying. Oh well, probably wasn't important anyway. Probably wasn't important. Yeah. I kind of want to make the banana split ice cream shop that color because that looks like ice cream to me. Or maybe have pink accents somewhere. Like maybe have. Wait, was it 20 by 20 or 40 by 40? Oh, I think it was 40 by 40. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Let's double check that just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, okay, there we go. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and then 1, 2. There's a reason for that. The reason for that is to get it 40 in the middle where the actual store is, you got to have 2 extra on the ends, and dang. See, this means that I'm going to be able to put the DMV on this street. I'm going to be able to put, it was supposed to be on the back street. Just saying. But it was supposed to be on the back street, and I'll be able to put the DMV and the dentist office over here where they should have been all along. And can you believe that this whole thing started out with just a couple of buildings? This whole town, it started out with just a couple of buildings. This is not a real town in Ireland. I totally made it up as I went along. And I had a problem at one point because on the same corner that the movie theater is, on the same exact corner as the movie theater, was supposed to be the hotel, the hospital, the college. And I'm like, that's not gonna, one day I was just like, that's not gonna work. That does not work. And the whole reason why I'm building this in the first place is because my husband suggested that he'd like to see what fictional Ireland looks like. So when he, when I'm trying to get him to help me with, is this better or this better, he can actually give an intelligent answer. So, because it's all in my head, but if I don't know, then how's the reader going to know? And so it's like, okay, is it better this or better this? And, well, okay. Yeah, like last time I built this, there was no parking lot here. It was just bam, right up here. You're walking down the sidewalk, you get there. Um, and that doesn't work, because you got to think people are going to be taking their kids to the ice cream shop. Um, you, um, there's people out there who go and they don't feel happy, so they go to the ice cream shop because that's like childhood memories of having the ice cream, and the ice cream was so good, so they want to feel like that again. um that happens with me, but I don't have to go to the ice cream shop where you're spending $5 to $10 on one single scoop cone. Um, I don't know that that's actually the prices. I'm just guessing that that's probably what it could be nowadays. Because somebody's getting greedy. I don't know who it is. Because things were messed up before President Trump got back in office. And he says he's going to fix it, but whether he does or not is a different subject. And my husband said that there ought to be, like instead of delivering to the front door, that there ought to be a back alleyway to what was that? Oh, okay. Um, okay. It looked like a walking pumpkin, but not the snow golem or iron golem or whatever. Um, okay. Anyway, it was weird, and it was just a pig. And I apologize to all the animal lovers out there for yesterday, because if you watched my video, um, somewhere in there, I want to say like the last hour, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, if you watch my video from yesterday, uh, no, I may not have made a video actually, but I'm sure that one of them fell the other day. Yesterday, one of the sheep would not move, and I moved the land out from under them, and they fell. But they did the water jump. I mean the water clutch or whatever you call it, because they landed in the water. I do know that. But I do want to apologize to all the animal lovers because oh, I didn't show you the thing that I built behind. Yeah, I forgot. Okay. So, oh dang, need to make another swipe. Okay. So I'm building this as best I can. Um, okay. So I based the library and there you can see part of the building now. Community center off of. This really needs to be a more bridge-like. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but Actually, I kind of do, because this is a sidewalk. So you go and, add one more here, and then you put, the wall, and it should be fine. Anyway, it's got a big old pond. I mean, these two buildings have a big old pond behind them. So there's the library half, and here's um behind the community center. Unfortunately, behind the community center is a snow area. So that got very annoying very fast, but oh well. Um, and then, there's trees here, and then on the other side is that, the elementary school. See, there's more over here. It's not supposed to be snowing 24/7, but I don't mean 24/7. I mean, like it's not supposed to be. What the heck? Okay. Um. Anyway, it's not supposed to be snowing like that. And these are actually just supposed to have a little walkway between the two, but we ended up doing a road. And over here. Okay, see, the road is supposed to come through here, but obviously that wasn't going to work. I need to fix that. Okay. Um, anyway, so the road ended up going over here, where this, pathway between the two things were. I mean, are. Um, maybe I should make the town hall instead. We know we've got extra room. Ooh, that's a thought. Yeah, there's all kinds of animals at the. Um, I'm a little upset because there's a whole lot of animals at the junior high. But again, I don't know if, like, 7th and 8th grade, because when I was younger, it was. When I was younger, you went to elementary school, and that was kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and third grade. Oh, wait a minute, no. You started out in Head Start or preschool, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I think the preschool was the one that you paid for, and then the Head Start was the one that, the state was willing to pay for, which is very good. I like that program. That's how my daughter got to go to school for Head Start. Um, but anyway, she got to go to that. Okay, so this is 4. Do we end up putting 5? Oh no, it's 6. Okay. I am so confused because we only need 4. Well then let's shorten this to 5. We'll fix it real quick. I was building part of this while watching John Snyder's channel Drinks with Dee Dee and John. That's their podcast thing, and uh, I really wish he would stop drinking because I'm worried for him. You know. Um. Okay, so if we take this out, and put the other in, um, like I'm thinking that if you drink too much, and, and it seems like they do, like how. Well, could you two scoot over a little? Thank you. Okay. Um, I'm thinking if they drink too much, that they're gonna have to have uh liver transplant and dialysis, something like that, when they're even older than they are now. And, you know, it's one of my favorite actors. So, one, two, three, four. And, and his wife. And, you know, I like most of the things that he was in. The one thing I didn't like that he was in, it was just you know, not the role I would have wanted him to be in, is all. It's a movie called Snow Day, and it's got Chevy Chase in it as the dad. Um, so there's um, okay, Chevy Chase has a wife in that one, but they've got two kids, a son and a daughter, and um, I want to say that the daughter wanted to have that epic battle snowball fight on a snow day, and the quote bad guy is the snowplow driver. But if I remember correctly, he wasn't a very good snowplow driver because he was like, hitting people's mailboxes and stuff. But I don't remember really. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Um, some angles I just can't tell what I mean, how many there is because of the angle. Okay, so I don't think we have to worry about running out of Disneyland playing silently in the background. It's a 4-hour video. And we've got an hour and 10 minutes left. So, that for the video, we've got, for the video playing silently in the background, we've got, oh, okay, so that is 4. Um, anyway, for the video playing silently in the background, we've got like 3 hours left. So I don't think we have to worry. Which is weird because I think I turned it on at the same time I started streaming. I don't know. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, a lot's been going on. And. Oh, no, I said that earlier in the other video. Sorry. Lots been going on lately. So, my book is not getting done as fast as I would like it to. And that is because I'm building this to help me write my books. But then there's going to be a small problem where I got to sit down and I've got to figure out exactly how old some of the people are because I had ages in there at one point, and then I'm like, that doesn't work because this person would have been this age at this time, and it's not their birthday yet. that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's driving me crazy. And then, of course, like if I don't if I don't start streaming at 8 o'clock or shortly after, that usually means I had to take mother-in-law or father-in-law to a doctor's appointment. And oh, that's why I picked Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, so I picked Tuesday or Thursday for father-in-law's doctor's appointment. And I was wondering why I did that until just now. Because okay. Um, yeah, we'll just kind of stand this way. That'll work. Maybe a cow will come to the thing because I've got to have some breakfast. I'm actually gonna unplug while eating breakfast this time because I thought that was kind of rude yesterday when I was eating and having breakfast and yeah. Anyway, mother-in-law keeps making appointments on Wednesday morning, and and even though I'm supposed to have a day off on Tuesday and Thursday, I'd rather make it on that day because you know I'd rather make it on a Tuesday or a Thursday. A Monday or a Friday will work too. But I would rather have it on any day besides Wednesday because usually I am done streaming by the time that I have to take father-in-law to dialysis. But usually I'm okay. That's in the toaster, just waiting for it to do its thing. Anyway, I'm done streaming Dreamlight Valley by the time that it's time to take him to dialysis. So I'm okay with that. Or I can at least get to a stopping point. At least I streamed something that day. And posted it to YouTube. YouTube, I mean, not YouTube, but Dreamlight Valley is the only thing they can't pre-record most of the time because the updates are on Wednesdays. So that's why I don't like extra appointments to be on Wednesdays unless they're like after 11 o'clock. That's fine when it's after 11 o'clock, but oh my goodness. And then I get mad and that throws my whole day off. When I can't stream when I can't stream period. But then, I go and talk myself into it's okay, you can stream later. It's still streaming on the day. It's just not streaming at that time. You know, I try to do that for myself. Where I'm like, it's okay. Okay. Now I've apparently got to... Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. I thought I had to get a new plate. Okay. So, you would never believe me if I told you this, but what the? Ew! Well, I can't. I can barely lift that. Never mind. Ow. You don't want. Anyway, I'm putting peanut butter on my toast and with the knives that weren't supposed to be there. I got plastic knives because husband doesn't really have time to do dishes, during the week. So, we don't have a whole lot of knives. They're clean. And I haven't liked using regular utensils since COVID. Because we were using regular utensils like everybody else. And we were staying sick. As soon as we stopped using those regular utensils and used the one-time use plastic ones, we got better. Well, that, and I made sure that both of us took my allergy medicine because I knew that I'd used it for I'd used it for other stuff. Like when you're sick and you have a cold. I'd used it for that, and it got knocked out pretty much instantly. Which one? Which one? I probably ought to have this. I was thinking about having Coca-Cola, and then I was like, you know what? I got cranberry juice because it helps prevent something. And since it's Minecraft, little kids could watch this. I think it's mostly adults that are my audience, but I mean, they're in my audience. But, there could be kids, so. Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Okay. Anyway. I was thinking that maybe one of my builds might actually help kids learn how to build some stuff. And then maybe there'll be a Preston Plays one of these days, or an Unspeakable, or, I mean, hopefully they'll come up with, I'm sorry, Unspeakable, that's just a weird name. And then, choking on air. Choking on air. I have a hair that is not a nose hair that is in the area of my nose. Yeah, it sounds weird, but that's what it is. So, anyway, I'm going to mute up so I can build this and eat at the same time and not bug people. And so I will be back verbally later. I'm not quite done yet. Still gonna um I'm eating Pringles. And for some reason I have Gangster's Paradise stuck in my head. But not the whole thing, just part of it. But yeah. So cranberry juice helps your bladder, apparently. And so I'm just drinking that so I don't end up in the same situation as mother-in-law. I'm gonna leave it at that. But anyway, she doesn't want to listen to me because, daughter-in-law doesn't know anything. No. So she keeps getting that same problem. Um, and then she takes the medicine and it doesn't seem to work. And yeah, I don't know if she's taking it like at the same exact time because it's better, I've been told, if you take, like if you take your first medicine pill at 9 a.m. and you're supposed to take it twice a day, let's say, you take the other one at 9 p.m. and then 9 a.m., 9 p.m., 9 a.m., 9 p.m. That's what I've been told. It works better that, the medicine seems to work better that way. So if you're having the same problem where like your medicine just doesn't seem to be helping, maybe take it at the same time every day for the duration of however long you're supposed to take it. Um, that does not apply to, taking bad drugs. Um, it only applies to taking the good ones that are supposed to help. Um, Although I was thinking it might help with them too, but yeah, I don't recommend taking bad drugs ever. I don't recommend drinking. Definitely don't recommend jumping off a cliff. Unless you're skydiving, like with a ultralight, something like that. I was just thinking about that. Maybe that would be, a situation where jumping off the cliff would be okay, but although I know that was like totally staged and everything, there was probably one of those big jump off the building um it's like a big ginormous bounce house thing. Anyway, and when you're trying to unalive yourself, the police put that down so you can jump on that instead of unaliving yourself. And then, you fall on that, and then they go and, take you to the hospital or whatever, and, try to get you to where you feel better. You know, I don't know if like if you get that depressed, I don't know if you can feel better, but I'm sure you can. I don't know why somebody would want to be miserable all the time. I mean, I know some people can't help it because others are making them miserable. Um, but, I hope that everybody watching this stream knows that, somebody out there cares about you. And that somebody is me, you know. I mean, I'm hoping that there's more than just me that cares about you. But, you know, even though we've never met, we've only met on here, um, I do care. My mom was trying to get me to, um, stop taking mother-in-law and father-in-law to appointments because, I need to be able to get a job. And it's like, well, I have no hope of getting a job. I don't know why. I just don't. So I'm trying to get this. Well, okay, no, wait. Excuse me. There's always hope. There's always hope. Um, in this case, if I can get up enough money to do so, we've got a local bookstore that if I can get a hold of some of my books, they are willing to sell them. And I get 80% and he gets 20%. And I think I would really want to negotiate to, uh, they get a little more money because they are the new bookstore in town. And, even though I need the money, they need the money too. So I would be willing to go like 50-50. My books are usually pretty expensive, but I think they set the price. Um, but anyway, I want to get some of my books. Um, and the books that I wrote, um, I write them, I publish them with Amazon, and I hope I'm not going to get in trouble for doing it this way. But I want to buy some of my books and then um, have the local bookstore just down the street, literally, sell them. And, you know, we can both make a profit. I think that would be great. I would love it if I could go and, start making some money with my books. That'd be awesome. Okay, so I gotta mute up again because the Pringles are calling my name. Um, so a lot of the Got Talent videos, um, there's I think they're specifically the ones that say top something. What? Oh, I forgot. I don't know how I forgot, but um, the Disneyland thing is playing silently in the background, and um, I don't know why, but Pop's Disney Adventures went to the show, whatever it is, because I thought it was Bluey. But anyway, they went to the show, and if it's Bluey, I don't understand why a retired, well, I think he's retired. I don't understand why someone who's retired and probably um older than 30. Well, I know he's older than 30, but anyway, older than 30 would want to watch Bluey. Yeah. But I don't remember him saying whether he has grandkids or not. So like maybe he's got the grandkids with him this time. I don't know. I'm still trying to catch up on videos. Ow, 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 ow. I keep sitting with my knee bent, and then my knee's like, excuse me, you need to correct this situation. Wow. Yeah, so I stayed up really late last night trying to finish that, um, try, well, I started out trying to get that mountain out of the, pond, and then Squibs came on and helped me, and then he was trying to help me with the school, and I'm like, first of all, I hadn't thought out how I was going to organize the school yet. But it wasn't going to work, him helping me, so I ended up, and I made really tiny classrooms, but they're just representative classrooms anyway. It's not like we're going to do a role play thing where, we go and have school on Minecraft. I mean, maybe one of these days, like when I can do this on my computer and maybe submit this whole thing um, as a hide and seek map, as a maybe go to school map, like have it be a life simulator kind of map. I don't know. Um, I was kind of thinking maybe Bed Wars too. Like have a simulation thing where you're in the hotel and your bed is somewhere in the hotel and you've got to defend your bed from the other 49 people in the server. I don't know how many people a Minecraft server can have, but it sounded good at the time. I have no idea how far back I'm supposed to have now that I think about it, I have no idea how far back I am supposed to have the counter or anything like that, so I'm probably just going to leave this like this for now, and we'll go for details later. Those Pringles are still calling me. Yeah, no, and cranberry juice does not taste good hot. Not hot, but room temperature. Okay. Anyway, I stayed up like really late last night. He helped me get the mountain out, and I, went and tried to put in the rest of the road, and then I was like, well, I don't know that that's where it's gonna land. I didn't know if that's where it was gonna land, but I decided that maybe that's where it should be, so. Oh, it's not a bluey thing. Oh, it's a tangled thing! I didn't know they had different shows. I thought they had two different bluey shows. Huh. Okay. So, I didn't know what's going on here. I've never seen this. But it's got Rapunzel. And if I didn't know any better, I would say they're doing the at that time, they were doing the one Grecian N, two Grecian N, whatever that means, from the music band. The Robert Preston music band. Again, I did not like the Matthew Broderick one because you know how in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he's like, shaking a baby now, shaking a baby, and he looks like he's really enjoying himself, you know. And he came, when he first came on, it was Dunka Shane, darling Dunka Shane, whatever the heck that's supposed to mean. I don't know if that's like, a crooner word or if that's like actually a word from another language and we just don't know. Excuse me, sorry. Um, it could be one of those things where it could be one of those things where it's just like, um, one word means thanks for the date, babe. We don't know because we just know that that's I want to say Wayne Newton, but I'm not entirely sure. Probably wrong. Hold on, I gotta ask JOL Julie. Okay, I had the correct I had the correct singer. It's Wayne Newton. Um but um 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 Google does not know how to say it cuz she said dinky show 'em or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I thought she might be able to say the name of the song because, it's like so totally famous, but no. Apparently it's a hard thing for AI to say. There's a lot of things that are hard words for AI to say. Depend on how stupid your AI is. Um, your GOOGLE, your Alexa, Siri, whatever. Hopefully I did not make them listen. Sorry. But anyway, um, oh, Cortana. There's something on our phones now if they're Samsung. Yeah. Anyway, depending on how dumb they are, they may not be able to say the word the. THE. Um, so I try. So with that particular voice, that's not one of the voices I'm using now. I will advertise Speechlo like forever, but uh, I really like them. They do actually kind of sound like a real voice. I mean, if you know what you're listening for, they so don't, um, but like if I went and put one of those as the as a story on YouTube, if I went and took one of my chapters and put it as a story on YouTube, you might not be able to tell the difference between that and like, the Harry Potter series, production that probably had a lot more people involved. I mean, it specifically says that Jim Dale read it you know, J- and Jim Dale is the voice of, the Harry Potter series. But it mentions, the executive producer or somebody like that too. Um, anyway, another person that's very important to the production process. Well, oh, great. Now I have to go and find bronze. Not bronze, copper. And I need the question mark waxed copper. The one that's not going to turn green. I need the one that's not going to turn green. So if I find the one that's going to turn green, then I got a problem. And if I don't, I think it's the waxed that doesn't. I'm hoping I'm right. There. It seems a little dark in there. What the heck? See, it seems to work better when you use redstone. Um, like I said, we'll get that fixed later. For now, it looks good. But we need to go all the way over there. Yeah, we'll just build the next door. We need the hardware store. Um, the hardware store is important because Mitch and Travis have to go to town and they're best friends at that point, but when they first get introduced to the story, they don't like each other. And that is because Travis invaded. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a bowl of ice cream. Um, on top of that store, there's supposed to be a bowl of ice cream, and in that bowl of, there's supposed to be a bowl, and then in that is supposed to be a banana split. Because it's the banana split ice cream shop. Um. Oh yeah, I said I was gonna have to find it. Okay. Um. I don't know. That actually looks pretty cool. The sulfur. Yeah, maybe it doesn't need to be the other. Let's see what it looks like. The sulfur just kind of looks like a hardware store building. I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of looks like a hardware store building. I'm trying to make sure y'all are hearing me. Because, like, I sit there and listen to my story. If I'm listening to part of my video, sometimes I can hear me and sometimes I can't very well. I have to go and turn it up. I don't watch my videos very often. I don't like hearing my voice recorded. Which is why I don't go and, submit my voice for, and, to replace Ashley's voice. I wouldn't want to have my voice recorded. Who would be a good voice? See, I was kind of thinking my daughter, but she's got. I think she's got, the same kind of voice I do. I wanted something a little more girly than that. I don't know. Um, we got Grace being Ashley's voice for now, but I don't like the Grace voice for Ashley. It just doesn't sound girly enough. And, the voice that I'm using for Chantel, it's like almost perfect. So, so I like that voice, but I don't like the one I have for Ashley right now. And I wish, it turns out that like the actress left the company or um some something like that. So she didn't. I mean, like so she basically left and took her voice with her. So I was very upset about that because that has been Ashley's voice ever since I figured out that, ever since I figured out what voice I want for Ashley, it's been Ashley's voice. And then I was thinking at some point that she'd probably have some kind of accent, but in my head, she's always sounded American. Um, I think most of them have sounded American. But Jake is Australian, and William might have a New York accent because they've lived in the governor's mansion for so long. Um, but he's also like half Russian or well, he'd probably be like 3/4 Russian, but anyway, I always say it, that William is half Russian, and then the boys are half Russian, and well, Julie would be too, yeah. But Kat is from, um, we don't know. Okay, I haven't developed where they originally were from necessarily. No, I just haven't figured it out. Um, Maybe one of these days. But Hayden's dad was on the pirate ship when they were younger until the captain, Katie Bell, kept threatening him because, I mean, kept threatening Hayden. Kept threatening Hayden, and Cameron's the dad, Hayden's one of the sons. Um, anyway, he kept threatening Hayden, uh, that, basically she was going to unalive herself a cabin boy. But his duty on ship was to be Morgan's friend. That's all he had to do was be Morgan's friend. And they're bestest best friends when they're little. Well, she's bestest best friends with Jake and Michelle, actually. But, eventually, she's like best friends with Hayden too. So, well, I mean, they all grew up together, so they're pretty much all best friends. Whatever. I don't know how to explain that. You know, she's like more bestest best friends with Jake though. And anyway, so I still have not eaten those chips. Um, I'm hungry. Yeah. I just ate my peanut butter toast, but I'm still hungry. So I probably need to stop for a minute. But anyway, so so Hayden um has a Scottish accent because they've been living in Scotland, but not so much that you can't understand what he's saying, like some of the um like some Scottish people. He'd be more like James Doohan Duhan, where you can understand like 99% of what he says. I don't know why, but that just reminded me of the episode, um, original Star Trek, with Captain Kirk, and he's like, Captain is trying to figure out what started the fight. And it's like it's like this happened, or they were picking on the crew or something like that. And then it was they made fun of you, Captain, or something like that. But that wasn't what started the fight. It was when they called the Enterprise a garbage scowl or something like that. It's not scowl, it's okay, I can't remember what the word is right now. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna look nice, I think. I mean, normally you don't want to be sitting there breathing sulfur all day, but in this case, I think it'll work. It's just there to look pretty. Like, this would be something, you're building the bank vault and you put it in there, and this looks more like gold to me than the gold does. Because I haven't built any of the interiors. They're not important right now, but they will be later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, okay. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2. Okay. We could even bring the pizza over here, I think. And the, so one of the upcoming buildings that you can't see right now, because we haven't built it yet, is a TV station. And it's got a really cool tower thing on top of it. And I think it'll be great for later, it'll be great for helping with, he called it okay, so it's another TSMC build, but they built it a little bit different because he's got his build, and then he's got I don't know, I think he had like like he had something like this, and then the ladder going up. What I did, because it just seemed a lot better, is 1, 2, 3. And then you have the ladder. And then see, you can't even see the barrier blocks, so it works a lot better. Yeah, we're gonna have to build like a back area here, and that's the movie theater is the only one that actually gets a back parking lot. Um, the movie theater is the only one that gets a back parking lot, and you cannot go through the back unless I added to it, but I don't think I did, because in the one story, we're gonna do this in reverse, but in the we'll just do it over here. Okay, so in the one story, Sean parks in his favorite spot, which is right about here. And then they go around the building, pretend that this is a movie theater. They go around the building and they go in the front door. Well, the front door is way over here, but anyway, whatever. And she wants him to have her out there and kiss for a very long time. So maybe they accidentally miss the movie and have to watch a later one and call up her mom and say, hey, we're going to be late, because they have a curfew. Curfew just means that you got to be in by, a certain time, like say 10 o'clock, because that's when curfew is in my stories. And if you're later than that, you get in big trouble. You probably get grounded. And grounded in my stories is a lot different than grounded in real life. Like, grounded in real life usually means that you have to stay home and maybe you're confined to your room. Well, your room has your computer, has your tablet, has your phone. You're really not out of touch with your friends anymore. You got your video games. Well, some parents don't take those video games away and the other devices, but some parents might actually. Anyway, that's not the point here. Yeah, you see all that space behind that green building? This isn't gonna work. The, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I am gonna, I think I am gonna, I hope I just didn't set this up the wrong way. Okay, so I think I'm going to end the stream. And that's because A, I want to eat my chips. B, alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Okay. I want to end the stream because I want to eat my chips, but I also want to finish this and work on my story, and I can't do all of that if I'm streaming because I feel I don't want to stay in obligation, but I feel like I need to talk to you all, and pausing every few minutes to put a story part in. I mean, deal with the story part is not gonna work. It just feels like I'm ignoring you all, and I don't want to feel like that. So, I write books, and they're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. I hope the wandering trader gets his llamas out of the middle of the road, because otherwise he will get ran over eventually. Hopefully sooner than later. Okay, get both of your llamas on the sidewalk. Llama, there you go. You it's driving me crazy. Anyway, so, I could push you that way. No, you'd rather just stand in the middle of the road. Bad llama daddy. Bad. You know, people call themselves the cat daddy. Uh, the person I'm specifically talking about actually said to put your hand in your cat's face because your cat will come to you and want that petting. And with Bobby, that's a good way to get clawed or possibly bit. So, just, you know, with cat advice, A, take it with a grain of salt, and B, keep your cat in mind. Do you think your cat would like that? 'Cause I know for a fact that Bobby would not like that. She has actually threatened to claw us in the past for putting our hand up like that. So, oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. She's actually threatened to claw us. And that's because she comes from a place, I'm not saying my sister and family were abusing her, but she'd start cleaning herself like a cat does, and it would be Bobby because she's making that noise, and I'm not saying it's the most pleasant sound, but it's a cat thing. They do that. I mean, I don't like it when it gets that loud either, but it's a cat thing. Well, I mean, other animals do that too, but then, also she hisses at Ben sometimes because he jumps over her to get to the rest of the desk, and he likes to lay up there and just stretch out. And when I say stretch out, I mean stretch out. He just looks like a much bigger cat. Are cardboard boxes the greatest cat toy of all time? I think they are. Well, not the best cat toy, the best cat bed. It depends on the box and if your cat likes it. But I would definitely say that cardboard boxes are the best cat bed. Oh, the title I read out was Abram Engel. He's got Kurt and Gary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay. Kurt and Gary are his fur kids. They're cats, and he spoils them though. Apparently he makes a lot of money, so he can go and so he can go and buy them the weirdest cat toys, the weirdest cat treats, cat furniture. He bought them a big old dinosaur, and it was funny because he thought that Gary was going to be like, because Gary was a little small kitten at the time. He thought that Gary was going to be so scared of climbing that dinosaur because it was a good 6 feet tall. But Gary's like, nope, I'm climbing this thing. He got all the way to the top. Now, you will notice, maybe, I said I was going to end this, but you'll notice that there was parts where the road, I don't know if the road needs to continue or not, but this is how we're doing the road for now, kind of thing. That needs to go. If Squibs is watching this, that needs to go. Those trees over there, that tree. So he got upset at me yesterday because he wanted to help with the school, and I was like, no, I'm building the school. And it's because I needed to figure out how to build it, for one, and for two, it just wasn't a thing that you can use command blocks on. I'm not saying that's the only thing he's good for, but that's what he wants to do. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's what he wants to do, is he wants to use command blocks on it and, help free up my time. Which is good, but in this case, it just couldn't be. I needed to go and build it the other way. So I built it the way I remember it being. For the most part, there's one more building that didn't get built, but it'll have to be shoved in somewhere. And one of these days, I will probably go and color one of the classrooms rainbow color, so you know it's the art classroom, and the other one dark green, so you know that it's the ROTC classroom. Speaking of the ROTC classroom, there was a time when my brother thought he wanted to go into the military and be like Grandpa. And then, surprise! My niece Kylie came around and it's like, oh, I can't do that now. So he's worked for a car dealership. He's worked for Denny's. And he's a police officer. I don't know. They don't really talk to me about that kind of stuff. But I think he's a police officer. Or at least he works for the police department. I'm not exactly sure. I just know that he got an award recently, and might have been last year, but he got an award, and it was really cool. Oh, there was something really weird that my sister texted me the other day. It was a picture of the moon from her window, but I was like, cookie moon, because that's what it looked like. It looked like somebody had eaten a cookie and hung it as the moon. So it was like, it was crescent moon, but my sister's phone is like really awesome on zooming in. So she gets those really good shots. Those really good pictures of the moon. Mine, it looks like maybe the size of a dime. Usually. And I'm looking at it and it's this big, huge thing. And it still comes out like the size of a dime, and I'm like, oh man. I would at least like the size of a quarter. And we got like this year's latest, greatest model. So, anyway, it does really good on other stuff. As long as you don't start the recording first and then, as long as you don't start the recording first and then, rotate it so it's left to right instead of up and down. Then my phone gets stupid. Okay. Let's go back over there again. So, I write books and they are available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. They ship everywhere the Amazon ships to, and they're available for free shipping on orders of $25 or more. Oh, see, I even got the snack bar and the hot lunch. And I had to move the drama class over here. I moved that's the computer class right there. That's the gym. I just had to go and rearrange a few things. Girls' locker room, boys' locker room. That ended up being home economics. Like I said, a couple of these doors are science. I started to say a couple of these are science classrooms. I don't know what the other ones were. But anyway, I built the ones that I remembered. So this is probably going to end up being like the ROTC and then the art. I'm not sure. I went and built the classrooms I remembered. Like one of these two was Mrs. Dickerson's classroom, and she was an English teacher, and I want to say this one, but it might have been that one. I can't remember. Well, that was junior high, and I'm almost 50, so yeah, duh. That I wouldn't remember. But anyway, so one of those two classrooms, and she was really short. I want to say she was 4 foot something, but she was a good teacher. I want to say that she moved from this school to the high school, but anyway. And then one of these two classrooms was I don't know, it was like Mr. Marino or something like that. Anyway, it started with an M, if I remember correctly. Anyway, and he was history. So I remember English was over here, history was over here, and like I said, the school gym was here. That's where square dancing happened. 2 years in a row. I was kind of happy about that, though, because you got to wear your regular clothes instead of having to dress up in your school uniform workout clothes. Okay, this is the principal's office. And this is I think the nurse's office. And then in there was some classrooms. I had math in there for summer school after 8th grade because I didn't pass math. And gee, I wonder why, because that was when they had the fractions in the computer room and the computer flipped it for you, so you didn't learn how to do it properly. Yeah, okay, still a little upset about that. I guess fractions make me feel stupid. Anyway, so for hardback books, Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times are $26 each. Esperanza's Party is 24. The Island is 25. Lessons in Love is 27. And unfortunately, my children's book, Coral, is not available in hardback at this time. All of my pirate novels are $20 each for the paperback, and Coral is a lovely bargain at $6. I try to make all of my books, I tried to make all of them affordable, but to where I would get some money too. So, I didn't try to like upscale the price, because of shipping or something like that, because it's free shipping on $25 on orders of $25 or more, and I don't have to pay the shipping. Whoever's buying my books does. So, I tried to make it as affordable as possible to where we both got something out of the deal. So, for ebook, Coral is $2.99. Pirate's Daughter is $3.05. Esperanza's Party is $3.05, and all of the others are $5 each. I don't know how much an ebook is supposed to be, but it sounds like a bargain to me. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much an ebook is supposed to be. I mean, I guess, on Audible, it's like $5 or $6 for a book that I would want to actually read. I'm very picky about my books. I like Nancy Drew. I like Harry Potter. I like the Percy Jackson books. I oh what oh. No, Ghost Ship. That's what it was. Ghost Ship. Howl's Moving Castle. The Outsiders. I kind of liked Bunnicula. Call me crazy, but I liked the Wayside School books. And I liked Treasure Island. That's something I had on tape at one point. Is I had Treasure Island. I had some good, but I had a copy of Robin Hood, but it wasn't Disney's Robin Hood. I got that later, and yeah, it was kind of like a radio drama thing, and I really liked it, but I don't have it anymore either. That'd be nice if I could like find all of this on Audible or listening library. Oh, and I like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and well, yeah, I liked Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and not as much on Great Glass Elevator. Um, and I kind of want to go and find, even if I end up, donating it to the library later and never listening to it again, I would kind of like to go and borrow some of the other S.E. Hinton books and the other uh, Diana Wynne Jones. I know she's Wynne Jones. Um, I was calling her by the wrong name. Is the thing, So that's the only reason why I don't know who does that book. Because I kept calling her by the wrong name. Because I was either calling her Diana and she is Diane, or she's Diana and I was calling her Diane. I don't know. Um, But anyway, yeah, I think I kept calling her Diana and her name's Diane. But either way, um, she wrote some other books too, like Castle in the Air. And there was some big words in there, so I, had a problem. I had a problem with that and stopped reading it. And it's probably a really good book, but I'm saying I would like to get it on audio instead. But the big problem with Audible, I'd rather get it on like a CD or MP3 player. The MP3 player books. I'd rather get it on CD or MP3 player because then you can hear how the word is supposed to be. I want to say it was something that started with a C, and I just could not say it, whatever it was. It was one of those that didn't sound out. But it was like 6 or 7 letters, I want to say, and I just couldn't say it. So anyway, this is getting longer than I wanted it to be. So if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe. We need 1,000 subscribers. Please help. And maybe please double check to see if you're subscribed. Because on some other streams that become videos later, people have been saying that they thought they were subscribed and they weren't. Like maybe YouTube took it back somehow. I think it's maybe that, I've got a theory that maybe it's not that, it's that, the person saying hit the subscribe button and they hit the subscribe button and unsubscribed on accident, maybe they just weren't thinking of, what they did and they accidentally hit unsubscribe, but they were like so busy that they didn't notice. I'm not saying people are stupid. I'm just saying, people get distracted. I do that too. So, we're human, So anyway, also maybe hit the notification bell because you might want to be notified next time I come out with a video. I come out with them every day. They don't always come out before noon like I would like them to. So, sometimes they come out at what I consider dinner time, which is anywhere between 4 and 7. Anything after that, my stomach complains bitterly. So I try to get my husband to make dinner before then. Sometimes I can make dinner, sometimes I can't. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Sometimes I can make dinner, sometimes I can't. Because we just don't have the materials to make the dinner that I can make, So, I'm more of a breakfast person. When it comes to cooking, I'm more of a breakfast person. I'm really good at breakfast. I used to be really good at dinner, and then my wrist just had a period where it was having mega issues. Okay. There we go. Doesn't that look nice? I know all the buildings look the same, but they're different materials. Okay, and then we need a bookstore. The bookstore is red. I don't know why, but the bookstore is red. Okay, so... Oh, we need windows. Okay, well, at first I was thinking we don't need windows because, with windows comes the problem of bad customers wanting to steal the things. Yeah, that's how I did it here. Okay. Anyway. In theory, the next building will look really nice, but I'm gonna have to build that off stream because it's gonna take really a long time. And like I said, I wanna eat my chips. I wanna eat my chips. I wanna eat my chips. So I've been thinking about that a little bit. I was just thinking about, and it reminded me. I was thinking about what women want, and I don't know why, but I was thinking she said something about chips, and that's not what happened. And then I'm suddenly thinking about another thing where something. There. Okay, so I was thinking about what women want and thinking that she said something about chips, but she didn't. And then realizing she said that, the scene I was thinking of is she was saying that she was like super lonely and she's getting frustrated and she doesn't know what to do with the ad campaign, and all that stuff. And then that made me think of, for some reason, that made me think of Pretty Woman, and she rescues him right back, which is, like the last scene of the movie. And, well, it is the last scene of the movie. I hate that ending. That is so stupid. It should be like, they lived happily ever after, or, they got a house together and got to know each other better, and maybe they broke up, maybe they, I mean, maybe they got married, maybe they broke up, I don't know. But, something a lot better than she rescues him right back. I don't like that. I mean, maybe they were trying to go with what was I trying to do? Oh, I was trying to pick up the red. Um, anyway, maybe they were trying to go with the I don't need a man to complete me thing, but, the movie wasn't going toward that. The movie was going toward, every man that she's ever known hasn't been that man that she could spend the rest of her life with. And then, this guy that didn't know that he needed her, brought her home, and that is the one, So it should have been, it should have been they lived happily ever after. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking that, it might be one of those things where, it might have been one of those things where, she was talking about she was a little girl and she got locked in the attic by her mom, and I think that's what she said. She got locked in the attic, because she was being bad, and so her little, say, 8-year-old mind was, not thinking, live happily ever after and do the stuff that, she was doing to survive in that movie. Yeah. I never knew that the guy who plays, uh, Richard Gere, I think it is. I mean, his name's Edward in the movie, but I think it's Richard Gere. Not entirely sure. 'Cause it could be the other one. 'Cause I don't know why, but I got Richard Gere and the guy who plays in Beetlejuice. The one of the Maitlands. Um, the one Maitland is Gina Davis, and then the other one is the other guy. And I don't know his name off the top of my head right now. But anyway, I got them like totally mixed up somehow. They like don't even look like each other. Uh, anyway, anyway, um, but then that got me thinking. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that got me thinking of another movie. I watched too many movies. It's called The Secret of My Success. It's got Michael J. Fox in it. And um the love interest, because I don't remember her name. I'm gonna call her Cindy because she looks like a Cindy. Um but that I'm pretty sure is not her name in the movie. But anyway, Cindy was talking to uh was it Brantley or Foster? No, not Foster. Oh, Brantley is Whitfield and Whitfield is Brantley. So she was talking to who she thought Whitfield, but it's really Brantley. But anyway, she's talking to Whitfield, Michael J. Fox, and um, they're having a conversation, but then all of a sudden she's not feeling good. So, so, um, she explains that she'll be fine if she eats because, when her blood pressure goes down because she's hungry. She's too hungry. Um, she kind of fades out. She explained it totally different, and it sounds a lot better when she says it. But, um, that's what happened. So he says something like, "Fine, I'll take you to dinner." And she goes, "Dutch," which means that, the guy pays for his meal and the girl pays for her meal, and yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is okay. But I think I made this size. The bookstore really ought to be bigger, but I think I made it the size I made it, and I made it a 2-story. I think I made it the size I made it because of the space. There wasn't enough space. I was running out of space because I was going toward the high school, and I didn't have enough room. Right now, we're going toward the high school, and I got tons of room. So the thing is, though, that one of the places, Yeah. I one of the places that I need to put down is the fancy restaurant, and it has to be put in a certain way. And I'm checking out something real quick. Yeah, I said I was gonna end this, and I got to a certain point, and yeah, haven't finished yet. I'm sorry. Uh, I'm I'm not making this longer on purpose. Ah, okay. So it's supposed to be that you drive from the mansion, which is over there, straight down this road and right to the fancy restaurant. And we're gonna have to like if we have details like that in a book, I'm gonna have to go and reroute them. But the only one that might have that kind of the only one that might have that kind of problem is where am I? Oh, okay. Anyway, the only one that might have that problem is Summer Journey because Jesse and Chantel have been fighting, and he doesn't want them to be fighting. It's more of arguing, not, like actually, hand to hand combat kind of fighting. um, and, just for clarification. Now, if you want hand to hand fighting, um, my sister's books might be up your alley. I'm not sure. She said that they weren't books that I would want to read. Let me put it that way. I go in for the, I go in for the like lovey-dovey romance stuff, but not romance novel level where you get like all the details. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 2. Now, one of these days, if I ever got to be like, the very popular book author, and people asked for that, I would definitely reach out to the leading romance novelist at the time and see if she could romance novel it up for me. There's a book coming up, way eventually. It's gonna be years, years and years. Anyway, that one's gonna come out, like way later. But that one, I just let my adult imagination go wild. And I'm kind of wanting to, I'm kind of wanting to have like the romance novel version and then the not so romance novel version, the regular version. Where you actually find out what the rest of the crew did for the summer. Because otherwise, I'm going to have like a whole nother book, and because something happens to Cammy. I think that's the summer. No, 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 no. That's a different summer. I want to say something happened to somebody's girlfriend, and he's mad about it. I was just thinking. Okay, so sometimes I have the enemy pirates come, and did that room have any floor? No, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, that's how you get through a window. There you go. I preferably do not want the bats to come in, even though there's plenty of light, supposedly. Um. Anyway, I was okay. So that one that I was talking about with Cammy, um, enemy pirates go and do something with her that is not okay. But I was thinking, what if they were at a street racing event and one of the losers decided to take out his anger on the winner's girl? Not in a beat her up way, but a different way. Hmm. And they'd be thinking that they can't, they'd be thinking that the street racer can't actually, you know, hurt them because, Mick has a very special car. It takes his wheelchair as the driver's seat and has buttons to press instead of the um it has uh, a gas pedal button instead of a pedal, and it's got uh another button for the brake, and um it's probably got it's probably still got the gear shift and all that stuff if it's not automatic, but usually I think of cars as being automatic, so you don't really need more than drive, because I don't know how to use a manual transmission. It kind of bugs me that it kind of bugs me that the Ford, it's technically my in-laws car, but it's pretty much my car because I'm the one driving it. Um, but anyway, it's got uh, a gear shift thing, to put in park, put in reverse, put in drive, and it kind of bugs me. Uh, the truck doesn't have that. It's got to have something, but I can't for the life of me think of what right now. Anyway, so I don't know if it's broken, but our soap dish, kind of broke yesterday. Actually, it fell apart. There's supposed to be um, there's supposed to be liquid in it to it's like a snow globe. It's a soap dispenser, but it's like a snow globe. So so it's got that, and then I guess we'll quit at noon today. Um, oh, and please get up those public quality public watch hours. They changed the buzzword because I think it makes more sense to somebody. Um, Still doesn't make enough sense to me. they don't explain what you need to do to get those. Does your audience need to watch your video in its entirety? Do they need to watch 80%? Um, it doesn't explain. One needs more details in order to guide their viewers to, get the quality watch hours up. But anyway, mixed cars like that. So if he was in a race in, say, Japan, and I got that idea because Initial D, it looks so fun to street race in Japan if you base it on that show. But on the other hand, they're what was it? They're going 40 kilometers an hour, and it turns out it's like 60 or it's not very much. It's like us over here in America, we go way more than that. Usually not on a mountain road, but we do go faster than that. So it's like, we used to go up the 50, and that's something that kind of bugged me yesterday. Is the guy was saying 375 instead of 395, and for a road in Nevada, but I looked it up and it really does exist. And then he said he said the 50, and that's in it goes to Tahoe, and I think it is here in Nevada too, but I mean it goes from here to through California to like the greater Sacramento area. I think. I don't know if it goes all the way to Sacramento. It might change to a different road at that point, but we didn't know any other roads, so we ended up going down Highway 50 all the time. And going down Highway 50, it's really easy. You just end up you end up like I said, going through Sacramento to Fairfield, California, where my parents are. And it was really easy. But one time I got really super mad at them. I don't even remember what we were, they were saying something. And I didn't like it. They were probably, trying to convince me to divorce my husband or at least get separated or something. And then, like we'd have the, I'd have the kids and he'd just be left. Well, he drives me freaking crazy all the time, but we didn't want to do that. We've been back together since Ashley was 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, Okay. Wait. Well, if it's not perfect, I'm just saying, if it's not perfect, it's close. Now I hope that the bats leave. Because I do not need... I know Halloween's coming up, but I don't need bats in my bookstore. Hi! Normally I tell him to settle. This time I was just like... I did that yesterday too. I just... Oh, excuse me. I just pulled him toward me. Okay, so, the last thing I'm gonna ask you to do, please, please buy my books. They're on Amazon, and, there will be in the description below, there'll be, how to find me on Discord, how to find me on YouTube, how to find me on Twitch, and, there will also be 7 links in the description below that say how to find my books. No, actually, you just click on the link and it should take you directly to Amazon. It will not take you to any evil websites or anything like that. It will take you directly to Amazon where that book is, and I hope you enjoy. And I guess we will finish the... Oh, dang. That's going to take a while. I guess we'll finish the floor, and then we'll have to go and redo the windows because I did them wrong. It looks really nice when you're inside, but when you're outside, it's like, why'd you do 2? So when I build the fancy restaurant, I usually try to make it kind of look like a castle. So it's really pretty. It looks all fancy and stuff. What's he doing? Why are we sitting up? Anyway, I try to make it look as nice as possible, and it usually has fountains on the inside. As far as I know, they use barrier blocks to look all nice and fancy like that. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it though, and I usually end up sinking them into the floor, so there is water there, and I kind of liked the way it was built last time. I didn't entirely like it because there just wasn't, there was a big spot where there was a big old walkway, but it didn't have carpet or something like that. Anyway, it didn't look right. Oh, good. I think the bats left. Yay. Okay. So, I will see you in the next stream or video.